So Google is setting up a massive AI hub in Visakhapatnam, and honestly, it's a huge deal for India's entire tech future. Now, if you're gearing up for exams, this is a topic you absolutely cannot miss. We're going to break down everything you need to know, all the key facts, the big numbers, and the strategy behind this game-changing project.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the big announcement itself. Then we'll dive into the massive investment and what it means for the economy. After that, we'll unpack the core pillars of what makes this AI hub tick, see how it lines up with major national missions, and even get a sneak peek at India's future connectivity plans. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways you want to have locked in. All right, first things first, let's talk about the announcement. This all went down at the Bharat AI Shakti event in Delhi, and it's being hailed as a real turning point for India's whole tech landscape. So the single most important thing to remember here is that Google is creating a major AI hub in Visakhapatnam. You'll hear it called Vizag a lot. The news was shared by the Union Minister for Electronics and IT, Ashwini Vaishnav, who really emphasized that this is a truly transformative step for India's digital economy. Okay, let's get into the numbers. And trust me, this is where you start to really grasp the incredible scale of what we're talking about. These figures are absolutely critical, especially from an exam perspective.
Let's start with the headline figure. 15 billion US dollars. That's the amount Google is committing to this project between 2026 and 2030. To give you some perspective, this is the single largest investment Google has ever made in India. Ever.
And what does all that money mean for the local area? Well, for the state of Andhra Pradesh, this project is projected to generate somewhere around 10,000 crore rupees in revenue. That is a massive injection of capital right into the state's economy. And you can't talk about economic impact without talking about jobs. We're looking at a total of 20 to 30,000 jobs being created by this initiative. Out of those, 5 to 6,000 will be direct employment opportunities right there in Andhra Pradesh. So, when you pull all those key figures together on one screen like this, the total investment, the state revenue, the direct jobs, the total jobs, you really get a clear, powerful picture of the sheer economic scale we're dealing with here. So, what exactly is this AI hub? Well, it's way more than just a fancy building. It's an entire ecosystem. Let's break down its core components, and stick around because I've got a killer mnemonic to help you lock this all in for your exams. Right at the very heart of this hub is something called a hyperscale data center. Now, this is a key term to remember. We're not talking about your standard server farm. This is being called India's very first gigawatt scale facility. That means it has an almost unimaginable capacity for data storage and for running incredibly powerful AI computations. Now let's peek under the hood at the tech. Minister Vaishnav made a special point of highlighting that this hub will be powered by Google's TPUs, which stands for Tensor Processing Units. These are custom-designed chips made specifically for machine learning. And he welcomed this because it brings some serious competition for NVIDIA's GPUs, which have pretty much dominated the AI market until now. And that's a huge development for the AI hardware scene right here in India. Okay, exam aspirants, this one's for you. To make sure all these crucial components stick in your mind, we've come up with a really simple mnemonic. Just remember the name of the city itself, Vizag. V for its alignment with the Viksit Bharat vision, I for infrastructure, Z for its zero-emission focus, A for Andhra Pradesh's growth, and G for the new subsea gateway. Simple, right? So let's start with I for infrastructure. Look, this is not just some tech park they're building. We're talking about a massive, purpose-built campus that's been designed from the ground up with an AI-first architecture. Everything about it is optimized for artificial intelligence. Next up, G is for gateway. And this is a massive strategic move. Think about it, a brand new international subsea cable gateway on India's eastern coast. This does two critical things. First, it boosts our global connectivity, and second, it makes our entire national network more resilient because now we have a third major hub in addition to Mumbai and Chennai. And Z stands for the project's commitment to being zero emission. And this isn't just some greenwashing or an afterthought. Google is actively partnering to build new clean energy generation facilities and transmission lines, which lines up perfectly with India's national clean energy goals. So let's connect the dots. How does a big corporate project like this fit into the government's grand strategy? Because it's not happening in a vacuum, right? Understanding this connection is essential. This is where you can really see how this isn't just a standalone Google project. It's woven right into the fabric of India's national strategy. It directly fuels the India AI mission by providing the insane amount of computing power that mission requires. And it puts the pedal to the metal on the Viksit Bharat vision. That's the goal of becoming a developed nation by 2047 by making all kinds of new AI-driven services possible.
But, the conversation didn't just stop at Vizag. The event also gave us a really exciting peek into what's next for India's digital highways, looking way beyond this one project. I mean, with a powerhouse like the Vizag Hub coming online, the natural next question is, what's the long-term game plan? What's the strategy for the rest of the country's digital infrastructure, especially for connecting those harder-to-reach places? Well, the union minister laid out 3 pretty exciting ideas. First, the plan is to position the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as the next major global hub for internet data traffic. Second, to create a direct digital link from Vizag to Sitwe in Myanmar, which would be a huge boost for connectivity in India's northeastern states. And third, to expand the Railtel network even further, extending a cable right through Myanmar to Mizoram. All right, let's bring it all home and put a bow on it. If there's one slide you need to screenshot or jot down for your revision notes, this is absolutely the one. So, let's do a quick-fire round of the absolute must-knows. The project, Google AI Hub in Visakhapatnam. The investment, a massive $15 billion US, Google's biggest ever in India. The impact, 10,000 crore in revenue for the state and up to 30,000 jobs. The core infrastructure, a 1 gigawatt hyperscale data center, and a new subsea gateway, all running on clean energy. The tech, Google's custom TPUs. It all lines up perfectly with the India AI mission and the Viksit Bharat vision. And it sets the stage for future hubs in places like the Andaman Islands. And hey, when in doubt, just remember that mnemonic, Vizag. This quote from Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, it really says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just another tech park. It's truly seen as the dawn of a completely new era for India's digital economy, an era that's going to be powered by artificial intelligence. So the final question we want to leave you with is this. When you have this level of investment, this kind of cutting-edge AI-first infrastructure, how will it fundamentally reshape India's position and its competitiveness on the global technology stage? That's a question that the next few years are going to answer.